Okay, so I'd like to tell you about societal success in 2023, 2024, how it benefits xenotransplantation, and why the future is porcine. So I've had a long interest in societal success, and I gave a presentation at our AI seminar about human cooperation and AI on August 5th, 2022. And in July 2022, I began recording CBC Radio 1, the news this hour, each morning at 5 a.m. I've continued to do that, and I also episodically record NBC Nightly News for Kids, which is different because it has to resolve things that have a positive outcome. And I've argued that artificial intelligence can enable an equitable Star Trek-like future. And as founder of the Banff Foundation for Allograft Pathology, I pushed tissue engineering pathology as the logical future for transplant pathology starting in 2011, ignoring the possibility of xenotransplantation pathology. I knew the joke that xenotransplantation is always right around the corner and assumed it was not actually happening for a long time. Now it looks like xenotransplantation is likely coming soon, and AI will also enable tissue engineering pathology within our lifetime. Also, eventually, the two could be combined. You could have a decellularized P organ scaffolds recellularized with human cells to create a functioning organ useful clinically. AI could help us overcome the problems, getting the right cells in the right places, creating the long loops of Henle, so the kidney is able to concentrate the urine. These medical advances are part of the positive human future enabled by AI and in particular by GPT-5. And there are new descriptions of this positive future almost every day, a future world of social harmony, peace, and prosperity enabled by AI. Meanwhile, the newscasts get darker and darker every day. There were news over the weekend about the rise of the far-right party in Germany. It's very scary. And the tension, I think, between the bad news and the future utopia will ultimately stimulate an overall solution. So you see a picture here of Lester Holt, and now think about who you would like to entrust the stewardship of the earth to. Yeah, and you can also think about my good friend Rich Sutton, the best-known AI scientist in Edmonton. He's influenced me quite a lot. And he and I have talked a lot about who should be in charge of this future world optimized for humans. And it seems to us it's probably better with AI in charge. You can think for a moment, would it be with Lester Holt or anybody else, any human you can name? And ultimately, it doesn't seem like that human is capable of the responsibility. Whereas I think AI could do it and could make that world better than anything any human could design. So there is going to be, and is already to some extent, a massive increase in human creativity and scientific discovery in 2024. It's a consequence of AI advancement of GPT-5, which is needed to extend organ replacement beyond allotransplantation. Eventually, we'll need a new Banff xenotransplant pathology classification with deep phenotyping collaboration between the Paris Transplant Group and NYU. So the timing of this AI advance is really ideal. This is in many ways medicine's finest hour when all this happens. And why do we need AI? Well, I think many of the issues we're talking about here are really too complex for the human brain alone. We need AI help. AI can help with countering anti-pig sentiment also. And so with everything together, the future is porcine. So in our Controversies conference, particularly in the panel discussions, we're going to limit discussion to the ethics of xenotransplantation. On the other hand, at the Cutting Edge of Transplantation meeting next month, February 22nd to 24th, there will be a broader discussion that will include AI and pathology classifications. And so although they're not part of our panel discussions today, there's ample opportunity to talk about them at the Cutting Edge of Transplantation meeting next month. And you can help with all this, but participate actively these 2 days. Help us with the writing of the enduring materials due in 6 months' time. I believe we have exactly the right 40 people in the room, and we can add additional people for the writing tasks. We're not limited to 40 people for the authors on the final white paper or for the people assisting with the other part of the enduring materials that it is the webinars that we're planning. If you have questions about that, you can email me. There's a lot at stake here. We could save over 1 million people annually with these combined modalities, bioartificial organs, regenerative medicine, and xenotransplantation. That would be a really big deal. We'd have an organ for everybody who needs one. And yeah, so AI can assist with this. And we've made this part of a larger list of 24 big challenges of humanity addressed by collaborative intelligence. You can see here xenotransplantation is number 13. And yeah, these are all things that are difficult for humans to accomplish, not necessarily because they can't do it, to some extent, maybe lack of will, but between the two, either not being able to do it or not having the will, AI can assist us. With all these 24 things, we're quite proud of this all-encompassing list. I'd be happy to discuss this at CIOT with you. The technological singularity, when everything changes, you can sense it's kind of starting to change now. I mean, it's 2035 to 2045, but you can already sense it in 2024. This is not unrelated to precision medicine, first described in our Banff meetings by Alex Lupi in 2015. And that precision medicine is getting much, much better now with machine learning and spatial transcriptomics. Here is Valentin talking about this in November 2022. And so these things would then be added to the Banff classification. There would be new classifications for xenotransplant, for tissue engineering constructs, and for the bioartificial kidney. We would solve the problem of how to get the right cells in the right places and how to create the long loops of Henle and the medullary osmotic gradient so the kidney can concentrate the urine. I think humans alone cannot solve those problems, but humans with AI, particularly AI at the GPT level 5 level, can solve this quite easily. So in the Banff classification world, in our original location 30 plus years ago, we had mule deer poking their heads into the meeting rooms. Now soon we'll have pig organs in the operating rooms. Come a long way from animal to animal. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much.